The Legend of Six Killer Kim. In the rugged expanse of the Wild West not too far from Texas, where the sun beats down relentlessly and the wind carries whispers of long-forgotten tales, there was a town called Dusty Springs. It was a town like many others, born from the dreams of gold and the sweat of hard-working pioneers. But Dusty Springs had a darkness lurking beneath its surface, a darkness that would soon be brought to light by the arrival of a band of outlaws known as the Shadow Bandits. Led by the notorious Six Killer Kim, the Shadow Bandits were feared and respected throughout the frontier for their daring heists and their ruthless murders. Six Killer Kim was a legend in her own right, a woman with a price on her head and blood on her murdering hands. She was a woman of few words, her eyes as cold as the steel of the revolver on her hip, but beneath her tough exterior, there was a cunning mind and a fierce loyalty to her ruthless gang of killers and thieves. One fateful night, Six Killer Kim gathered her gang together after a hard night of drinking whiskey at the Dusty Springs Saloon and laid out her daring plan for their next heist. They would rob the stagecoach that carried the payroll for the nearby gold mine. It was a risky job, likely to end in disfigurement or death, but the potential payoff was too tempting to resist. The stagecoach was due to pass through Dusty Springs at noon the next day, so Six Killer Kim and the Shadow Bandits spent the night preparing. They checked their revolvers and repeaters, sharpened their knives, and made sure their horses were ready for a fast getaway. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, they set out for the ambush point. The stagecoach was drawn by a team of 6 horses, with 4 heavily armed guards riding shotgun. Six Killer Kim knew that they would have to move fast and strike hard if they were to have any chance of success. As the stagecoach approached, the Shadow Bandits sprang their trap. With a thunderous roar, they rode out of hiding, guns blazing. The guards on the stagecoach tried to fight back, but they were no match for the Shadow Bandits' firepower. In a matter of minutes, the stagecoach was surrounded, its guards dead or wounded, and its cargo in the hands of the outlaws. As they rode off into the sunset, Six Killer Kim knew that they had pulled off the heist of a lifetime. The payroll and gold bars they had stolen would set them up for years to come. But more than that, they had struck a blow against the forces of law and order, showing the world that they were a force to be reckoned with. But their victory was short-lived. Word of the robbery spread quickly throughout the land, and soon a deadly posse of Pinkertons were formed to hunt down the Shadow Bandits and bring them to justice. Led by Sheriff Allen, a seasoned lawman with a reputation for being unrelenting in his pursuit of outlaws, the posse set out to track down the bandits and recover the stolen gold and payroll. The chase was long and arduous, spanning miles of rugged terrain and treacherous mountains. But Sheriff Allen was determined to see justice done, and he pushed his men hard, never letting up in his pursuit of the notorious outlaws. Finally, after 6 days of relentless pursuit, the posse caught up with the Shadow Bandits at their hideout deep in the heart of the mountains. A fierce gun battle ensued, with bullets flying and the air filled with the sound of shouting and gunfire. In the end, the Pinkertons were outnumbered and outgunned. One by one, they fell to the ground, their bodies lifeless and their guns silent. The law fought bravely to the end, but even they could not withstand the relentless assault of the ruthless Shadow Bandits, especially the headshot accuracy of Six Killer Kim. As they lay dying on the dusty blood-covered ground, the Pinkertons looked up at the sky, the sun setting on the horizon. They knew that their time was up, that the legend of Six Killer Kim was too ruthless and more than a footnote in the annals of history. But as the last dying Pinkerton closed his eyes for the last time, he knew that he had lived and died by the code of the Wild West, a code of honor, of loyalty, and of never backing down in the face of danger. And so, the legend of Six Killer Kim and the Shadow Bandits came to be legendary all across America, their story a testament to the untamed spirit of the Wild West and the men and women who lived and died by its code.